This is a collective message. I'm going to start off talking about a couple of things, but first we are going to talk about the Antichrist and its energy. You have the Antichrist, you have Christ, Jesus Christ consciousness. And what I want to talk about in particular with this is the understanding of what each truly is, because most people think there's an actual person being a Jesus Christ, but there's a consciousness. That's why there's so many people who claim to be Jesus Christ and reincarnated, is because it's a consciousness, it's a remembering, it's an awakening. And most get lost in an imbalance of it, but there's the imbalance with the other half of the consciousness. It's not just one, there's two halves that have to balance. There's the Antichrist consciousness, which, when left unbalanced, leads to repression and suppression of the feminine, but it allows that masculine energy to overtake because it has no way to recycle, and it continues, its processes, usually to destruction. Um, but the Antichrist energy, again, is not one person in particular. It's a person who holds that energy, and what you believe that energy to be is what it is. And most think it's this negative, evil thing, which it can be when you take it to its extremes. But what this is also is, again, that's why so many people claim to be, or they're labeled the Antichrist, but it's a consciousness, and one that is, same with the Jesus Christ consciousness, is used very vaguely and for many different things. But with the Antichrist energy, it does bring a little bit of chaos. It allows you to, in its full effect, integrate the processes of experience into realization, into materialization, is how I'm going to word it. It allows you to see many different things and understand many different things in relation to, let's say, chaos magic to begin with, or chaos in general. It is a way of dismantling the system systematically into its entirety, but it is done in a natural way, in a state of consciousness that, when in balance with the Christ consciousness, you allow yourself full view and allow yourself to walk through with the assistance of spirit, of the divine, and of the ancestors, in essence of you. And it is important to note, if someone carries the Antichrist energy, which we all do, and it's not really called that, but we're going to term it this. But even if someone's in that, the Antichrist is also a negative vibratory energy. Your Christ consciousness is more higher vibration, but in the higher vibration, it's easier to go through the different frequencies, while the lower frequencies, it's harder for them to go up. It's easier for you to be cut off from the higher vibrations. But in this negative vibration, it's not really a negative. You have a negative and a positive. It creates a circuit, magnetics, right? It allows the flowage. But in this negative vibration, you either sink or swim, basically. it's the positive and the negative, and we all have that in life. There is a lot of suffering that, not only that we do to ourselves, but we take out onto others. And it's, an almost infinite loop, or what it feels like, of the process of running around in circles, in mazes, in self-destruction and self-pity. It allows you to sit in the experiences in which our heartache, they are the feelings that are not expressed. They are what has been cut off from us. They are it's like placing yourself in a box and not being able to come out of the rat race. It's getting lost, trying to get further and further ahead, taking shortcuts, doing what you have to do to survive, doing what you know and what you have seen and what you have grown up with. And this goes into healing trauma, and if we're not healing ourselves, we're hurting our children. If we're not healing ourselves and doing better for ourselves, if we're not sending negative intentions towards other people, we need to be focusing on ourselves, our own issues, so our children don't have to see that, so our children don't have to experience the negativeness of what life can be. Why not be a better example for them? And for most, this takes time in life and experience to see and to really understand the processes of life and death, the Wheel of Fortune, how to turn things around, how to really connect to our ancestors, to honor them as well as ourselves, to not feel burdened by others' shortcomings and pitfalls. It is, forging our own way, holding out the hand and, reaching out to grab that branch. It's allowing yourself to submit in a way to surrender to the help of the universe, and that allows you to let go and transcend the ego, which is that human spirit which weighs you down. And if you don't know how to let it flow, right? If you don't know how to flow with it with ease, it's going to continue to weigh you down. And with this, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Okay. So with the surrender, you're allowing yourself this connection, this branching out, allowing yourself to basically see like tunnel vision, to see and maneuver in the directions in which you need to go for your Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, allowing yourself to move forward, the Hierophant, definitely divinely guided towards your passions, being the Fool, stepping out of your comfort zone, allowing yourself to surrender both sides, because you are everything. You are whole. You do not suppress who you are and what you've been through, and you are a beautiful person, and you understand so much wisdom that most do not understand. So thank you for listening, especially if you have made it this far in the video. Thank you. And thank you for choosing the road less traveled.